things back over to Talk of the Town.
Add a little sweetness to your week with a very special treat from Doug and Dolly's Cookie Cottage. Joining us with more on this, we've got Doug and Marc. Well, they've also got some baking tips that we'll do in a moment. But good to have you all with us for today. All right, first up, how did Doug and Dolly's Cookie Cottage come to be?
Sure. Well, Doug's been baking for his whole life. This was sort of a serendipitous accident. I had struggled with alcohol use disorder for many, many years. And I ended up going to a treatment program in Massachusetts called East Point Recovery. And while I was away, Doug thought, let me make some cookies to send up to Marc, you know, to offer my support. He got busy and somehow they never got shipped. But then when I got home and tried them, I was like, Douglas, these are special. And we gave to family and friends, and everybody was saying the same thing. So we decided, you know what, let's do a little side hustle. Let's go into markets and fairs and pop-ups and sell them there. And that was a year ago, and it's just taken off.
Wow. So you've got a great assortment of cookies here. Yeah. They're piled all together here, but you've got them separated over there. So tell me about what's over here on this tray.
All right. Well, we've got, because we were doing fairs, we were trying to come up with a variety of cookies. So we have a standard set. We have a chocolate chip, outrageously chunky chocolate chip, triple fudge chocolate.
I'm gonna grab this one. All right, I'm a chocolate.
That's a good one.
We do what we call sweet and salty. A lot of Southern people are calling it a kitchen sink. A lemon cookie, peanut butter, Reese's peanut butter cup. Cherry cordial has dried cherries in it. We do an oatmeal chocolate chip, and then we do different flavors for the month or a week or whatever we decide is best for us. This month we're doing the pumpkin spice coffee cake cookie.
So as you see right there, and I'm gonna put that one in there as well. One of the things that has folks going is just how thick these things are. So again, it's the chunkiness that keeps folks coming back, you think?
Yeah, and the softness of the cookie. It's a chewy cookie.
And other big things are on the way. First up, you are going to be at the Nashville flea market. They're always usually the fourth weekend of the month, so you're there coming up at the end of the month. Yeah. But also, you got a brick and mortar on the way. Tell me about that.
Well, once we realized that this was really going to be something that was taking off, we started looking around to explore the feasibility of opening a brick and mortar. It was hard to find a place that we could afford that was in a good location, and then we found out about this Emery Commons in Donaldson, brand new facility.
Yeah.
They have Salento's Italian restaurant, and they have Sweet Milk, and they had a little opening there. And so we applied, and miraculously, it got
Target date for the opening there?
End of November,
okay,
hopefully.
Super.
Yeah.
And we mentioned some baking tips. So give me a couple of baking tips if we want to bake, especially with the upcoming holiday season on the way.
One of the most important things is to not be afraid to experiment. You know, if you want to take your standard cookie recipe and maybe you don't want to waste it, make half a recipe. But one of the things I found is adding cornstarch will help will help not have the gluten form as much, soften the cookie. Substituting some brown sugar in place of or in addition to the white sugar will also make a chewier cookie. We tend to cool our cookie dough down before we put them in a really hot oven. So I think that's why they get thick and not spread as much.
Oh, fantastic. Well, some great information. Congratulations on all the success. Once the brick and mortar is open, come back. And at that time, we can tell you, what's Dolly? We've got Doug and Dolly, but what's Dolly? So they can do that on a future trip. For more information on them, we'll put the information and the tips about Doug and Dolly's Cookies Cottage on our website over at newschannel5.com. Just look under the Talk of the Town section.
This portion of